Hi, I'm Tara Long with Wide Awakened Healing and Acupuncture, and I am here to help you awaken your inner healer so that you can feel better in your body and your life. Thank you so much for watching, and this is part 2 of our Wild and Free series called Surrender to the Freedom Within. Now, last week we talked about creating more freedom in our lives and how to do that. And the first recommendation that I had was to create more freedom externally. So we talked about creating freedom through clearing your calendar of things that you don't want to do, that you don't like to do, right? And I know sometimes we do have to do things that we don't want or like to do. But if there's an activity, for example, that you've just done for so long, but maybe you don't really enjoy it, or a class at the gym that you take because you feel like you have to instead of taking one that you really want to, so things like that. So clearing our calendars, clearing our homes of books we don't need, furniture that we don't like anymore. Maybe a set of sheets that you don't like or don't use, all those things, just clearing the space externally, clearing your life of relationships that don't serve you anymore, and that can be in a small way where you just spend less time with someone, or where you actually take the time to have a conversation about, maybe not spending so much time together. So there's a lot of options for you, but I hope that you went through and made your list and sort of maybe started to take some action on clearing away some of those external things to create more freedom. So now that you've done that and created that, more of that, the next step is creating freedom within, right? So we've created the freedom without. Now let's create the freedom within. And there's a lot of ways to do this and a lot of ways to go about this. But I think most often of when we have stuff built up inside, it's kind of like the debris, right? The rubbish of old relationships or just hurt feelings or whatever it is. So if there's something or someone that when you think about, you get a bad feeling or just a feeling of whatever it is, maybe guilt, regret, fear, anger, all of those things. If there's a person or situation that still evokes that emotion in you, it's a good sign that maybe there's some energy around it that needs to be cleared, right? So you can actually do a kind of a self-assessment. Is there anything that is on your mind, more often than not, or that you keep rerunning in your head, maybe analyzing something? So that's a place where you can say, hey, maybe I need to let go a little bit of that to create more freedom inside of me so that I can attract or be more of the things that I want, right? More free inside and joyful and happy and all of that. But we have to clear out the old so that we can have room for all of the things, all of our desires, and whether they're internal or external. So go ahead and make a list of if there's any person or situation where you still have any, I say bad feelings around, and nothing's good or bad, right? It's what we make it. But if you don't want to feel like that sort of ickiness around something, then go ahead and make the list and take action to clear it out. How do you do that? Well, I talk about it all the time. The first step would be forgiveness, right? Forgiving yourself first and foremost for holding on to it, forgiving yourself for expecting this person to have behaved or done something differently, or the situation to have gone differently, right? And having some peace with it, like knowing that everything happens for a reason. And I know that's cliche, and in the moment it doesn't help anybody with anything, but in hindsight, I think we can really have that clarity to know. So really see, well, this happened, yeah, and maybe at the time it really sucked, but how do I feel about it now? And maybe what happened out of that, what came out of that. So forgiveness of yourself, forgiveness of this other person, right? I mean, everybody's always doing the best that they can with what they have in the moment. So really taking, even if you have to use divine love and not your own love to forgive this person, sending them love, send them the love of the universe or whatever, God's love, whatever you call it, whatever it is for you. So forgiveness. And then we want to practice self-love. So loving yourself unconditionally, exactly as you are, loving the one who is angry, sad, upset, hurt, all of that, right? And then again, sending that love out to whatever the person or situation is. You can also try the Ho'oponopono, which I have another blog on, and I'll link it at the bottom of this video if you want to try the Ho'oponopono, which is a great little prayer that you can do, a Hawaiian prayer that you can do to help with forgiveness without ever even talking to the person, right? So clearing that internal space. And then once you've done that, and of course it's a process, it's a journey, this isn't something that's just going to happen all in one day or even a month or even a year. I find that what can help with that process as well is finding moments of stillness inside of you. That's where the freedom really exists. That's the only place freedom really exists, is within. That stillness, that peace, that just total unbounded awareness, right? That consciousness that we all are, that love, that coming home to yourself. That is true freedom. You can be locked away in prison for the rest of your life, and you can find freedom. You can find freedom inside of yourself, right? So meditation works for me, and I know a lot of people, and just that's one more reason why meditation is so amazing and so great. Because once you can do that and come home to yourself and have that stillness every single day, then it doesn't matter what's going on externally, because you can see it clearly, right? You can look at it through fresh eyes and not through some emotional state, but through what's actually going on. And just having this sort of baseline peace versus like doing this all day long with all these things and emotions coming at you. So I would recommend, if you don't already, having a meditation practice. Start with 5 minutes a day and then go up 1 minute a week until you get to 10 minutes or 20 minutes or whatever it is, whatever you feel comfortable with. So that's how we're going to create that freedom within, because if we don't have that first and foremost, then it doesn't matter what kind of freedom we have externally, right? If we don't feel that peace inside, it doesn't matter. And also what's inside of you is reflected in your life externally. So the more peace that you have inside and the more freedom you feel inside, the more you're going to create that in your life, the more it's going to come to you, and like-minded people are going to come to you, and so forth. So let's create some freedom within and surrender to that freedom within. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Also, I'd love, love, love to hear from you. So let me know, what do you do to create freedom within yourself? Do you have a meditation practice? Do you garden? What sort of stillness do you participate in to create that for yourself? And if you don't, what is your practice going to be? What are you going to commit to? Commit to maybe 5 minutes a day of doing something, and let me know about it in the comments, and we can all sort of be here for each other and help each other. And remember, you are the only one who can truly create healing for yourself and freedom for yourself in your life. So continue to empower yourself and awaken the healer within, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much. Aloha.